Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks of plastic, and discuss what is new and up and coming around the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure host, Matt. Let's build on it. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing today? We are at the precipice of 2023, and what better way to end the year of 2022 than talking about the top 10 sets of the year. How great of a year has it been for Lego? Some of the most impressive sets that have come out in a very, very, very long time. So let's go ahead and we'll get into it. Before we get to the top 10, we do have two honorable mentions. The first, the Lego minifigures, the collectible minifigures, the Muppet series. Probably one of the best collectible minifig series Lego has done in some time. Really nailed them. Just not enough room on the top 10, unfortunately. And the other one that we have here is the Vincent van Gogh, The Starry Night. An incredible set, an incredible build. Just so much there, so much enjoyment. A very unique set. It was difficult. I really struggled to not put that in the top 10, but it's, yeah, anyway. So let's move on to number 10. The number 10 best set of 2022 comes down to Super Mario, believe it or not, and the Mighty Bowser. 71411. Gorgeous set. So much there. Really cool build. Really, really well done as far as the design behind it by the design team that actually put it together. So many of those designers, they really nailed everything about Bowser. It's a really cool display piece. It nails it. And it had to be in the top 10. Number 9, as we continue the countdown, the City of Lanterns from Monkey Kid, 80036. Arguably the best Monkey Kid set, basically in the wave, obviously up until now, but the sets that we just got done discussing don't count for this year. They count for 2023. Anyway, really cool build, very unique stuff, modular in its own right. As they continue to go along with this Monkey Kid theme, a lot of really great stuff with this. It's a play set. It's something that you can set out on a shelf, kind of similar to a modular. Really good stuff to go the whole way with it. And then you also end up with some incredible minifigures in it. Number 8 on the list comes down to the Great Pyramid of Giza, 21058. This one will be coming to an episode hopefully here in the next month. I say very soon. It's hard to figure it all out. Anyway, incredible build. When I saw this originally, I was smitten by it. I was totally drawn into it. It was something that I wanted immediately. I didn't want to have to wait. I just wanted so much of it because it is such a fantastic idea. It's such a fun little build. And then, my favorite part of this is the back side of it where you can actually see the kind of tunnels into the chambers and stuff. Just fantastic. Perfect scale, everything. Definitely has to be a top 10 set. Number 7 on the list goes to a Ninjago set, of course, right? And this one, the Crystal King. Gorgeous build. 71772, so much behind it, so eclectic in its own right, so many great colors, a very different monster on both senses of the word here, literal and figuratively, such a different monster than what we have seen from Lego. It's kind of that mix of a mech and a vehicle. It's really, really weird, but it was so well done. Such a gorgeous build. so much posability there, and it just really carried the Ninjago wave really, really well throughout the year, the campaign of the Crystallized and everything. And, being in New York City for the premiere event, it was one of those things that they had on display there. It was, people were just drawn to it then. Collectors are drawn to it. Ninjago fans are definitely drawn to it. Thus the reason it's, well, not the only reason it's on mine, but at the price point it's at, it's a really solid set for what you're getting. These don't all have to be the icons where you have, $500 sets or $400 sets or $230 modulars. They don't all have to be on there. So number 6 on my list here is 10300, the Back to the Future Time Machine. Fun design behind it. I love taking things with nostalgia and being able to incorporate them into a display and it's just a great build. I mean, it was so great. Now, it did have its minor issues in the back end, which we talked about on that episode, but as a whole, for what it is, nostalgia really puts this thing up on the top 10 list. Not in the top 5, but definitely on the top 10 list. Some people are going to say, yeah, no, not for me. It doesn't really work for me. I don't really see it being a top 10 set, but it really, really stood the test of time, the time machine, throughout the year. And it has sold very, very well based on numbers and such, but just a really cool set. If you have not gotten an opportunity to get your hands on it, you most definitely need to. Number 5, as we roll into the top 5, 31129, and it comes from creator 3-in-1, and we are getting this set at number 5, Majestic Tiger. Believe it or not, something that smallish is in the top 5. Absolutely it is. And it probably on some people's list deserves, top 3 on the podium. I've got others that I think are well and above that, but my goodness, an incredible build for its size, for its price, so much detail. It looks exquisite for its sheer size. The design team did, oh my goodness. Can you imagine taking that much of a minimal part count and coming out with something that incredibly detailed? Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So those of you that think, oh, it should be higher. Well, hey, I'd love to hear your 2022 list. Send it to me. Tell me about it. Number 4 on the list, we're going to Jurassic Park. Of course, we've got to go to the whole Jurassic theme here, 76956, and we're talking about the T-Rex Breakout. Gorgeous set. Coming, a review of it is coming, but there's also going to be, as you guys will be finding out, a designer interview with the lead designer here, hopefully in the next month. Anyway, back to the set. Cool looking dinosaur. Obviously not as detailed as the JP Gates, but hey, you really can't complain that much. But you have that, you get the Ford Explorers, you get one upside down, you get the fence, you get this whole little diorama, which I know Star Wars has done a few of them. I'm trying to think what other waves have done kind of the diorama type stuff, but it's perfect. It fits everything that is needed there. I love everything about it. All the little details that you may not think of at that time. You get some really great minifigs as well. But my goodness, it was such a gorgeous build, such a cool little display piece for a shelf. If you're especially a Jurassic Park fan, you absolutely need this. It's iconic. It's one of those things, with Star Wars. There's iconic scenes in Star Wars throughout the franchise that you recognize immediately. And by far, this is one of them. Now to the top 3, 80109. Do you know what it is? Do you? It is the Lunar New Year Ice Festival. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous set. Everything about this set I fell in love with, from the build techniques to the size, to the opalescence, to the things being underneath the ice. Every single thing about this set is incredible. There is not one thing that I came across in this build where I thought, you know what? I did not enjoy that. That was kind of silly. Oh, well, that's kind of a problem. The Chinese New Year sets never fail. They never falter. They are always incredible. And this, I'm going to go out on a limb here and argue that this is by far the best lunar Chinese festival set out there, without a doubt. So now we are down to the top two. Top two. Obviously, you've got an idea of where we're going with this. At this point in time, you're thinking through your head whether you've built these or you haven't. You've definitely seen these. If you were listening to this, you have most definitely seen both of these. Just for nostalgia purposes alone, they are worthy of a top 10. Number 2, Optimus Prime 10302. Without a doubt. Easily top 2. Could be number 1. I mean, if you were going to toss it up, it could easily be a 1A, 1B here. And we'll talk about the 1A in a moment. But sleek, actually transforms, gorgeous color, absolutely perfectly done nostalgia-wise. Something that I honestly never, ever thought we would get from Lego. I never thought that there was ever going to be a time where we would get an actual Transformer in Lego form. Like if you really stop and think about how impossible of a task that is to do, it would just blow your mind away, or at least it should. The sheer fact that this thing can transform and you don't have to take pieces off of it. That's everything right there. That's everything right there. And then you throw the nostalgia factor in. There's Transformers fans everywhere. Maybe not as big as some of the other stuff, but they are definitely there. Now let's move on to the final set, the top set, the best set of 2022, Lion Knight's Castle. Without a doubt. How could this not be number 1? When this was announced at LegoCon last year, it was when we were in Chicago for the live show. When this was announced, it was something that I think there was an audible gasp of absolute jubilation from the crowd, because there were people watching it and listening to it. There were people listening to it on their phones. There were people watching it on their phones. And there were people that were walking around, looking at this and then looking at Lego sets. There was just an air about it that I think it's something people have been waiting for a long time. The pirate stuff that we got a few years ago. Now you've got this thrown into the mix. I mean, we've got other nostalgia things that Lego's jumping into, like they're just did with the Blacktron. There's so many things that they are trying to reach and bring back to that adult audience, the things that they want. I think it's perfect. And then not to mention the amount of minifigs that you get, how well the build was done, some of the really cool techniques that were used, how it opens up, the nostalgia factor alone with kind of going through the color that they did, but then also modernizing it to Lego standards today. They really just kind of nailed everything. And I am proud that it was released. I'm proud that they went and did it for the 90th anniversary. And I can't wait to see what else happens moving forward. Definitely, you've got a big audience there with fans. The fan experience is getting bigger, or the adult experience, I should say. Adult fan experience is continuing to grow. You really cannot go wrong with bringing some of these older things back in a newer version. So that is going to do it. That is my list for the top 10 sets of 2022. Price, size, I mean, you have it all. You have different themes. You have things that I never thought I would put on a list, Mario stuff, but my God, it had to be on there. And I mean, it's really well represented. There's a little bit from everything. Obviously, the icons line, Creator Expert, as some of you know it, still call it that. Of course, they're going to be on there. So many great sets. It's really hard not to put them on there, especially with the top 2. Oh my goodness. So I encourage you all to have a great rest of your year. The last day that you have, I hope you have a great time. Cannot wait to see you on the other side on 2023. That's going to wrap it up. I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's build on it.